Hi, I'm Peter, CTO and co-founder of Diffblue. I'm going to show you the new test merging feature in Diffblue Cover. This new capability represents a major shift in how Cover writes tests, and the tests are managed between you as a developer and the Cover agent. Until now, Cover produces tests in separate test classes, like here in a Diffblue test class. And it ignores that you might already have written tests in your own test class. Like here we have a book service test class with test data, with before method, and there is already a test. So let's see how much coverage this test class has. Yeah, so we have 28% line coverage on the book service class. It's not a lot, but better than nothing. So with the Diffblue test that we generated here, let's see how much this increases. So we have added the coverage now, and it's 42%, which is still not great. So I'm now going to run cover with the new test merging feature enabled. So the big plus of this new feature is that Cover can take advantage of your manually written tests to write better tests. Also, Cover is going to insert the tests into your existing test class, which makes it a lot easier for you to handle the tests because they're all in one place. The generated tests are annotated by a managed Diffblue annotation. Let's have a look at this test now that have been generated here. Um, yes, we see here there is a managed Diffblue annotation, and this means that the cover agent owns this test and is allowed to modify and remove it when it becomes obsolete. So the contribution from Diffblue tag indicates that the tests were initially written by Cover, but if you want to modify the test, then you can just drop the managed by Diffblue annotation, and the test becomes yours. Yes, it's the ownership moves from the Cover agent to yourself, and the Cover agent is not going to touch the modified test anymore. Same applies to your own tests that you have written yourself. They don't have any annotations. They are yours, and the Cover agent is not going to touch them. So let's see whether test merging gave us some improvement. So now, yeah, we have 64%. So it was able to write a few more tests because it took advantage of the existing mocking setup in the before method here, and also the test data. So let's push this even further. It's now very easy to give Cover a nudge to write tests for branches that it has missed. For example, the code here needs ISBN numbers of books from various countries. Let's add another ISBN here for a French book. And so let's rerun Cover. So Cover is now going to pick up the additional test data, and we'll see where it's going to make use of that to write more tests. So another advantage of this new feature is that Cover knows exactly what the existing tests are already testing, and will only attempt to write tests that complement the existing tests. This was a lot more difficult previously, where you had to juggle between multiple test classes, and you may have ended up with redundant tests that don't add any value. So, yes, we have received a few more tests now. Let's run these. And this increased coverage to 71%. So it has become really easy now to customize the behavior of Cover by adding class annotations, test data, factories, helper methods, or mocks that Kava can benefit from. In particular, when complicated things are needed, such as loading configuration files or setting obscure system properties that Kava may need to write tests, but is not able to figure out by itself. So when you have already written tests that solve these initial setup challenges that are required to write unit tests for your application, then Kava can immediately benefit from these and deliver high quality tests out of the box.